Welcome back to A Nerd, a Teacher, and a Hockey Player. A relevant yet irreverent look at business, technology, and life in Wichita, Kansas, or wherever you may be. I'm Paul. I'm the nerd.
I'm Kimber, and I'm the teacher.
And I'm Jeff, and I'm the hockey player. Oh boy, this is going to be a good one.
So, Jeff, tell us about the T-shirt you're wearing today.
Today I'm rocking Roger Waters' The Wall reunion. That tour. He did it a couple times. Kind of a neat tour to go and see. I did get the chance to see Pink Floyd, the Division Bell, which was their last full tour without Roger Waters. But this was kind of a neat thing because I never got to see The Wall. I was a little young when that came out. So yeah, Roger Waters.
Awesome. I am rocking Hard Rock Cafe from New York City, Yankee Stadium.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
We have a tendency to collect Hard Rock Cafe T-shirts and visit Hard Rocks when we travel. And this was kind of the combination of two of our quests, because my son and I are also trying to visit all the Major League ballparks. Mm-hmm. And we happen to be at Yankee Stadium, and they have a Hard Rock Cafe right there. So I thought, got to have this shirt.
Gotta have that shirt.
This petit shirt.
This petit. Really?
So Kimber, tell us about the petit shirt that you're wearing today.
We really want to know.
So we're using the P's because this says, that's a terrible idea, with a pterodactyl. There's actually several on here.
Those are pterodactyls.
These are pterodactyls.
Yes.
I went on a corporate retreat kind of thing down to Florida, and everybody brought their plus ones, and it was just me, and I was looing around, and somehow ended up in the middle of the swamp in Orlando. And I came back and I told that story, and they were like, Kimber, that was a terrible idea. And then someone who's absolutely hilarious in that organization, who never like half a second to a dad joke, always was like, held up this shirt in the gift store at Universal and was like, it's a terrible idea, Kimber. So now this is my shirt.
Yep.
And I've had the shirt on for almost an hour now, and Paul and Jeff in the last 5 minutes noticed that there was a P on the edge of terrible. And so now everything that starts with a T is a pata, which is why they're both almost crying, laughing so hard.
Right. Before we even started, this thing was off the rails, out of control.
So Jeff, rein us back in and tell us what we're going to talk about today.
Today we're talking about the boards and the various different boards of directors, and I keep looking for the T, right? The boards, the boards of directors that we've served on, and how we've helped contribute to our community through nonprofit boards.
Awesome, great idea. And what kind of got me interested or motivated in that? Several years ago, I had a good friend and mentor that was a real estate agent in Derby. Also served on the city council and was mayor for a while. And just out of the blue one day, he sent me an email and said, hey, you've lived in Derby 15 years. Derby's been good to you. It's time for you to give back. Mm-hmm. What would you like to do? Here's some opportunities on the park board and the tree board and this board and that board. And at that time I was like, I'm not really feeling it, but maybe I should at some point when I'm an adult, look for ways to give back to the community that's been so good to me. I wasn't raised that way. I mean, my parents weren't involved in the community or anything like that, but that's kind of struck a chord and kind of worked its way into my moral fabric to say that when the time comes, you need to be ready for this. So I've been blessed to be able to participate on the WIBA board, the Wichita Independent Business Association, up to a role of being board chair for a while, and then also on the Humane Society board. Both of those, economic development and animal welfare, are both causes that are near and dear to my heart. So I've been blessed to participate on those.
That's awesome. And I, in addition to giving back to the community through nonprofit boards, which to me is a really cool way of doing it if you've got some business acumen and you can contribute. So you're serving your community and you're helping out these nonprofit boards, but it's also a great opportunity to meet people and to meet influential people. And
Great.
As a matter of fact, you and I met each other basically because we served on the same board of directors.
Correct.
And we got to kind of get a little bit closer because I was the chair of the WIBA board the year before Paul took it over. So we worked kind of closely together and handed the gavel off at a function and everything. But that was also, I want to make sure we hit on that because you get to meet people and get involved with in some of the other things, and some of the relationships you build can kind of come back around and end up helping you later down the road too.
And in a lot of cases, it's people that wouldn't have been even tangent to your social circles or your professional circles, because they're people that come from different walks of life or different industries that are involved in those boards.
That's cool. So what all boards have you served on?
Those two, and then also the board for Cancel when they were more active than they are today.
Now here, check this out. I've served on 3 boards as well. They happen to be the exact same boards that you served on, but the Cancel board, we had nothing to do with each other. That was just pure.
It was probably 5 or 10 years apart.
Yeah, exactly. Because I wrapped up that I think in 2022 was when I rolled off the Cancel board.
Yeah, mine would have been in the teens.
Right. So and then some stuff went down there. But anyway,
so we're gonna start calling you Mini Me with hair,
but a lot more mini. 6, 7, and 5 something. Wait, are you 6'4" or 6'7"?
6'6".
Split it right down the middle. Okay.
Exactly. So what I find interesting though is, I mean, Kimber, you currently don't serve on any boards.
I do not.
So something you'd be interested in?
I think yes.
Yeah.
I'm a full believer in giving back.
So how would you select a board you wanted to participate on?
I know what board I want to participate on.
Okay.
I'm just
Do you
waiting
tell?
patiently. I want to participate on the Wichita Public Library board.
Okay.
Oh, that would be good for you.
It would be. I mean, it would be.
That would be a match.
And right now it's coming up on city council election time is coming up, and every city. I learned this at a Weeba Ladies function, but every city council person needs an advisory board. And need to bring. I think I'd be great at that too. Like you and I live in the same district,
right?
But in very different neighborhoods. It would be really interesting to just kind of have those kind of people trying to make their district better, and what that looks like. You have to represent who you are, but you have to be able to think about other people. And I think I've got a lot of so many different things that have happened in my background that really wherever you plug me in at, I'm going to be pretty decent. Because I'm loud, which no one
You're
would
not
ever
afraid
believe.
to put.
I'll say what needs to be
Say
said.
what needs
by
to be
God.
said.
So for those viewers, I'm sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. Go.
Oh, here's the thing that's stopping me. What is a realistic time commitment? Because I also have my at-home humans who need things. I work full time. I have already bitten off more than I can chew in several different aspects of my life. So what does that look like?
And you got to also be honest with yourself and make sure that you are in a place in your life where you can make that commitment. Because you don't want to half-ass anything. Because I've been on my fair share of boards with people that, they're supposed to be at 12 meetings and they show up at 2, and they're late to one of those 2. So you want to make sure that you're at a point in your life where you can make that commitment. I don't think any of the boards that I've served on have been an exhausting amount of time. But for example, on the Humane Society board that I'm on now, I've got 2, I got a committee meeting today and a board meeting next week, both of which are going to take an hour and a half, plus a little bit of prep time in between. So I'll probably spend 4 hours this month on Humane Society board stuff, but probably nowhere near that amount of time next month.
Yeah. Hour or 2 hours usually. I mean, obviously the meetings and stuff. I was going to ask you, Kimber, so the library board, have you made any inroads to get on that board?
I talked to Becky Tuttle.
That's a start.
And she was like, oh, well, yes, here's where you're going to go, and here's the form you're going to fill out, and you're going to wait until after the election season, which is like August or something like this is coming up. And she said, then she's such a great person. I'm going to introduce you to these couple people, and we're going to go from there. So yes, but also not really.
Okay.
And I think that's the point to take away from all of that is, as you're looking for boards to participate in, find one that aligns with, your values, your hopes, the things you're good at, your interests, because you want to actually be doing something that interests you and not giving back for the sake of giving back. You want to take your time and your treasures and your talents and apply them someplace that you're going to actually add value.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And the best way to do that is find something you're interested in that you can add value on, and then look for how to meet people or that initial outreach. Like you just said, to be on the library board, you reached out to somebody that's on the city council. Jeff's on the Humane Society board because he reached out to me and said, I want to do this. So if you're watching this episode, please be watching this episode. We get lonely up here. If you're watching this episode and you're thinking to yourself, well, yeah, I'd like to do that. Find out how. If it's a nonprofit organization, call the CEO. Right. Say, yo, dude, I'd like to be on the board. How do I do that? What's that process look like? What's board recruitment season look like? What do I need to do? What talents are you looking for?
Yeah, is there a person I should connect with?
How can I help?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think across the board, whether it's a governing board or an advisory board or a nonprofit board, I think everybody's looking for talent and looking for fresh blood. So I think just making that initial outreach and saying, yeah, I'm Paul, how can I help? I'd like to do this.
Yeah, I've served on a couple of the boards I've served on. I've served in a governance role. So I have been on that side of board recruitment. One of the things that I would also encourage is, to the point you made earlier about finding something that you can get behind that's real and important to you. But also, as you're coming into the opportunity, make sure that whomever you're working with, who's recruiting you or working with from a governance perspective, let them know what you bring. Make sure that you bring a talent. Like as a chair of governance at the Humane Society right now, one of the things I'm looking for is balance. Do we have the right skills? Like, for example, if I know that somebody's going to be rolling off the board that's maybe got the financial background that we need from the treasurer perspective, then I might start looking for somebody who has, accounting or CFO type background, so that I can find somebody who can fill that vacant seat and maybe, be the next treasurer on the board. So it's important also to find that thing that strikes you and makes your heart feel good, but also let them know what you bring to the table, what talent you bring. And that can also help forge your way onto a board.
So as we close things out, Jeff, let's talk a little bit more about board tenure. When is it time to leave?
I'm so glad you asked. Again, in the governance role, I've done a lot of reading and things like that. And one of the things that I've come across that I think is probably really important, most boards, you're going to serve a more than just a year. Sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 3, and oftentimes there will be an opportunity to renew for a few years. The thing that I would tell people is that when you get on a board, make your mark, get engaged, be present, and make it important in your life, and then get out and let somebody else take on and find that thing for them and for their life. 3 to 6, but no more than 6. After 6 years, you're kind of wearing out your welcome, and it's time to get somebody else some new, fresh ideas in, and that's not a bad thing. And then that's your opportunity to move on to the next board, and that's kind of what I've done with you. I was rolling off of a couple of boards, and I was like, I kind of have something missing, and so I reached out to Paul about the Humane Society, and he was able to get me on. And then since I've been on, I've tried to make a mark.
Okay, appreciate it. And we're going to kind of close out there. Again, don't overstay your welcome, but please take some time, get off your ass, and find a local board or some way to give back. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time. We've been a nerd, a teacher, and a hockey player.